The Voltorian Academy floated in the void between three suns, a crystalline structure that had broken countless species before humanity ever reached the stars. Anna Chen stood at the entrance of the storm chamber, her heart steady despite the screams echoing from within. The overseer, a towering Voltorian with skin like polished obsidian, regarded her with something approaching curiosity. "You may withdraw," it said, its voice resonating through the translation implant. 63% of applicants choose this wisdom. Anna adjusted her pressure suit and smiled. Humans didn't cross 40 light years to withdraw. The chamber door irised open, revealing churning darkness within. 3 weeks earlier, Anna had been one of 12 humans selected for the Academy, an institution that trained the galaxy's elite in surviving impossible environments. The Galactic Council had extended the invitation reluctantly. Humanity was new, untested, considered reckless by the elder species who had spent millennia perfecting caution. Leo Martinez, her training partner, had summarized it perfectly during their first meal in the communal hall. "They think we're adorable idiots who got lucky with fire." The other species kept their distance. The insectoid Kretsch chittered nervously when humans approached. The methane-breathing Silvari refused to share atmospheric zones. Only the Voltorians, who had founded the Academy 3,000 years ago, showed any interest. The cold, analytical interest of scientists observing a curious specimen. The first test had been atmospheric adaptation. Candidates were sealed in environment pods and subjected to progressively hostile conditions, corrosive gases, pressure changes, temperature extremes. Anna watched a Kresh warrior, decorated with battle scarring across 3 of its limbs, clawed desperately at the pod walls before emergency extraction. The Silvari prodigy lasted 12 minutes longer than Academy records predicted, earning rare Voltorian praise. Anna endured for 47 minutes past her baseline, her vital signs steady as the pod filled with sulfuric vapor that would have dissolved unprotected flesh. When they finally extracted her, she was humming an old Earth song, its melody distorted by her respirator. "Impossible," the proctor had muttered, examining the readout. "Your cortisol levels actually decreased." Leo had laughed when she told him, "Anna, you're scaring the aliens." "Good," she'd replied. "Maybe they'll start taking us seriously." The storm chamber was the Academy's ultimate test reserved for final evaluation, where candidates faced their species' deepest evolutionary fears made manifest. For the Kresh, it generated swarms of their ancient predators. For the Silvari, it simulated the drought death of their homeworld. The chamber read neural patterns and created personalized nightmares. Anna stepped into the darkness. The door sealed behind her with a hiss of finality. At first, nothing. Just absence, no light, no sound, no reference point. Then the chamber learned her electromagnetic fingers probing her thoughts, her memories, her heart. She felt it searching for terror, for the thing that would break her. The darkness erupted. Suddenly she was falling. The ancient primate fear of the drop activating every nerve. But this fall had no end, no ground rushing up to meet her, just eternal descent through crushing void. Her inner ear screamed. Her muscles locked. Anna closed her eyes and breathed. She had grown up in Houston, watching hurricanes devour the coast. She'd learned early that fear was just chemistry, adrenaline, cortisol, electrical impulses across synapses, useful for running from predators, less useful for the void between stars. The fall continued, but she let her body relax into it, fighting nothing. The chamber adjusted. The fall became fire-consuming heat that should have sent her into panic. Every human instinct screamed about burning, about pain, about death. Anna examined the sensation clinically. Not real fire. Induced neural response. The body isn't actually burning, she smiled. Not from bravery, but from understanding. This was the chamber's mistake. It was trying to scare a species that had climbed down from trees specifically to chase antelope, until they collapsed from exhaustion. A species that looked at oceans and decided to cross them on wooden planks. A species that saw the stars and immediately started building ladders. Humans didn't fear the storm. They became it. The chamber escalated. Drowning, suffocation, isolation. A montage of every death humanity had ever faced. Anna stood in the center of it all, her smile widening. Each fear was acknowledged, examined, and filed away. Adrenaline became focus. Terror became data. Outside the chamber, Leo watched the monitors with the Voltorian overseer. Anna's biometrics painted an impossible picture. Her fear response is active, the overseer said slowly, but her prefrontal cortex has hijacked it. She's using the amygdala activation to enhance cognitive function. I've never seen this. That's just Anna being Anna, Leo said proudly. She did the same thing during our asteroid mining certification. Station almost decompressed. She calculated escape vectors while everyone else was screaming. The overseer's crystalline eyes fixed on him. Is this common among your species? Leo considered. Common enough. We had to be crazy to survive Earth. Everything there wanted to eat us, poison us, or crush us. So we learned to look at fear and say, okay, but what if we do it anyway? Inside the chamber, the storm reached its crescendo. Every terror simultaneously falling, burning, drowning, freezing, crushing, dissolving. The sensory assault should have shattered her consciousness. Instead, Anna laughed, not hysteria. Joy, the pure, defiant joy of a species that had looked at an uncaring universe and decided to thrive anyway. The chamber was magnificent, powerful, horrifying, and ultimately just another problem to solve, just another storm to weather. The darkness exploded into light. Anna stood in the center of the chamber, eyes clear, smile unwavering. The door opened. The overseer stood waiting, its expression, if it could be called that, transformed into something new. You experienced all triggers, it said quietly. Full activation across all fear categories. Yes, Anna confirmed. And you smile, yes. The overseer was silent for a long moment. Then humanity is cleared for deep space exploration. All sectors, no restrictions. Leo whooped from the observation deck. Other candidates, Kresh Silvari, even other Voltorians stared in disbelief. That evening, in the communal hall, a young Kresh approached Anna cautiously. How do you face the storm without breaking? Anna thought about Earth, beautiful, terrible Earth that had forged humanity in fire and ice and endless pressure. She thought about every ancestor who had looked at impossible odds and charged forward anyway. We learned something important, she said finally. Fear is useful. It keeps you alive. But humans discovered a secret. The things that scare you most are usually worth doing because they scare you. The storm doesn't break us because we're too stubborn to stay broken. She smiled again. That same defiant smile that had carried her species from caves to stars. Besides, she added, what's the worst that could happen? We die. Everything dies eventually. Might as well die doing something interesting. The Kresh warrior stared at her, mandibles clicking in what its species used for laughter. You humans are terrifying. Yeah, Leo said, joining them with a tray of bioluminescent food cubes. We really are. As the three suns set beyond the Academy's crystal walls, Anna looked out at the infinite darkness of space. Somewhere out there were terrors the galaxy hadn't yet named, challenges that would break lesser species. She couldn't wait to meet them because that's what humans did. They smiled at the storm, stepped inside, and came out laughing. End.